Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I want to start saying all praise and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to our apostle, El Great Millstone, salutation to you, hopeful elect out there teaching the word, truth, and sincerity. Alright, as you already know, man, this is another installment. Alright, or should I say the beginning of an installment of I'm probably going to make it a 3 or 4 part series. It's going to be titled Wine, Women, the King, and Truth. Alright, and the reason why I titled that is because of this chapter. When you read this chapter, it was three men. Alright, which one of them happened to be Zerubbabel. That same Zerubbabel during the time of the rebuilding of the temple, which he was the last one that had the wisest saying. But when I just want to focus on the subjects that they brought up in their letters, and I want to individually break them down and just go into them. But anyway, let me start from the top. Alright, this is the book of First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1. Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects. And some scholars say, which Darius this is, or it could have been Darius the second or Darius the first, which Darius the first is the same as Darius the Great. And just doing research, you more than likely this had to have been Darius the Great, alright, which is Darius the first, because he existed. He was a contemporary during the same time as Cyrus the Great. Alright, he was right under Cyrus the Great. So this had to have been this Darius had to have been Darius the Great, or Darius the first. But anyway, I said you can do your own research on that. But it says, now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, and said unto all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia. It says of 127 provinces. It says, and when they had eaten and drunken and being satisfied, were gone home. It says then Darius the Great. It said then Darius the King went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. It says then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, let every one of us speak a sentence. It says, he that shall overcome and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory. It says verse 6, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. It says he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin, man. So they were doing this to pretty much get in a better position politically and influential. As far as their power, all right, their status, all right, their position, man, all right. So it says, and he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. All right, because when you watch those ancient movies, and stuff like that, these kings, they had like consultants, counselors, all right, a war counselor, advisors, all right, to aid them in their conquest, man. All right. I had to take a little sip. All right, verse 8. First Ezra 3 and 8. It says, and then everyone wrote his sentence and sealed. It says sealed it. It says and laid it under King Darius his pillow. It says and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. It says to him shall the victory be given as was appointed. The first wrote. So now this first installment will be focused on wine. All right. So it says the first wrote, wine is the strongest. It says the second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are Women are strongest, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory. And that's what Zerubbabel wrote. He was the third person that wrote, and he wrote about the women and the truth, man. Which are you, if you already know the story, um, that truth is the strongest. All right, women was the strongest out of those two, but then out of all of those three, out of the wine, the king, the women, the truth was stronger than all of them. All right, continuing on. Verse 13. Now, when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. It says, and so he read them. So this is Darius reading. Sending forth, he called all the princes. It's like it's not Darius read. Well, he started to read the letters. But anyway, it says, and sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media and the governors and the captains and the lieutenants and the chief officers, and set him down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them. He said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So shall so they were called and came in. It says, and he came unto them. It says, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first who had spoken of the strength of wine. So this Darius, commanded that the ones that wrote these letters, the three men that wrote the letters that guarded his bedchamber. He said, speak your own writings, man. All right. So it says that this is the first one regarding the wine. He said, thus, O ye men, how exceedingly strong is wine. It causeth all men to err that drink it, man. All right. It says, it maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich man. And that is something when you think about that, man. All right, how powerful wine is, man. All right, how scripture say in Proverbs, give strong drink to him that is ready to perish, man. But how wine can make a person that's royal. I mean, that come from a whole different lineage. All right, that's royal as hell. And then if he sit with a poor man, if they're both drinking, they forget their sorrows, man. That's the potency of wine. And a strong drink. Verse 20, it said, it turneth also every thought into jolly and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor debt. It says, and it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remember neither king nor governor, and it maketh to speak all things by talents. It says, and when they are in their cups, they forget their love both to friends and brethren, and a little after draw swords, man. It says, but when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done, man. So after you coming down, what I mean, off the hangover or whatever, or you no longer drunk, you don't remember. All right. I said, O ye men, is not wine the strongest that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace, man. So once, all right, I'm ending on that part. Like I said, because this is gonna be a first installment of the four things: the women, the king, and the truth, man. Like I said, I just wanted to get some brief. I just want to get another precept regarding the wine and how strong it is, man. Because like I said, that was a wise saying of the first one that stood up and that spoke, man, about how strong wine is. But then the second one, he had an even better one. Let me see. Here was Psalms 104, verse 15. And wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. That's one I wanted. Proverbs 21. Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise, man. Yeah, that's true, man. Because wine is a mocker, man. And strong drink is raging. That's why the first one I wrote about the wine, he said wine has got to be the strongest in his mind because he seen what wine can do to men, and he gave his statements and his testimonies regarding the wine. This is verse 20. Let me see. Yeah, I think that might have been it, man. You know what I mean? That was the one I was talking about earlier, Proverbs 31:6. But yeah, I mean that was it, man. I was just probably ending on that, man. Cause it was one more I wanted to get, man. I just ended on this one. This is the last one. Ecclesiastes 10:19. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answers all things, man. So wine, what does wine do? It makes the heart merry, man. All right. That's why it's even one in the Apocrypha, man. We're talking about wine maketh the heart merry. All right. Yeah, man. So I mean, like I said, that was it, man. I pray it's edifying. With that, we give our praise and glory due to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakadash, Devon and our Apostle Ezra, and Minister on Salutations to be hopeful lake. I pray it's edifying, and Lord willing, I'll be back with the other installment, the second part. Shalom.